Hello, thank you for joining me. It's Friday the 14th of July and I have got my spirit animal cards here for you for a reading. So let's see what two come out. Ooh, that's one. And I'm going to go with that one. Okay, wow, that was two very big cards. We've got the eagle and the shark. Now, interestingly, they're both guardians. All right, so I feel like the guardians in this card, they're the kings in normal tarot, but for this particular readings and these spirit animals, I feel like they're the top of the food chain in their particular suit. So the eagle is the guardian of feathers. So all the in the feathers, it's a bit like the swords, they're all birds. And the shells are generally animals that either live or are around water. So we've obviously got the shark there. Yeah, now let's have a little look at these two. They wouldn't meet necessarily, but they're very much in charge of their own domain, aren't they? This eagle is clearly sitting very high up and there's other ones kind of soaring around in the sun. I don't know if you've ever seen any kind of bird of prey when you're sort of on a really clear day and they're sort of circling so far up in the sky. It makes you wonder what they can see and how far up they actually are. But I would imagine from that perspective, being, you know, as high up as the mountains looking down, it does give you a very different view of the world to the one that us humans are used to. And similarly, you know, the shark, we've got the sun's rays kind of gliding down on him there and hitting the seabed. But again, you know, he goes to places and has seen things that we as humans will never see. And I really feel that there's an interesting message there that humans tend to think that, not necessarily you, but there's an element that thinks they know everything about the world and that we're in charge and that, you know, we have all the answers. And I think if we spent a day in their lives, seeing what they see, it would give a really different perspective on our human lives, really. Perhaps it would make us realise that, one, we're actually quite small, and two, we are probably not as integrated in the rest of the natural world as we perhaps should be. So taking that from a sort of for a collective message, I think that gives us something to think about. But I think if you're coming into context, obviously with the tarot, the court cards are sometimes about people or situations. And I really feel like this is looking at things from a very different point of view. In order to mature or progress in our own lives. So the kings come into our lives when we have that, you know, they have that element of maturity about them and all-knowing, don't they, the kings? Or as somebody that we would go to for advice or seek counsel from. So I feel there's going to be an opportunity for us to see or be maybe put in a position where we have to see things from a different point of view. And it might be quite an eye-opener because, you know, every single one of us is just dealing with our own thoughts and feelings and can get a bit caught up in those. Once we start to understand the points of views and the feelings of other people, it really does open our minds up to maybe we are not right about everything. Maybe there are things that, you know, internally we can do to help, you know, help situations that we're stuck in. I really feel like this is a lesson that's going to be learned here for us to shift up a level. And the reason I'm saying that is I think like internally shifting, you know, when something just, the penny drops and you're like, oh, okay, I'm not doing this right, or there's a better way of doing something. So I really think these cards are coming in to give us a huge shift in our perception, or maybe a real aha moment with our feelings and thoughts and how we're maybe blocking ourselves from progression in the world. But I think it's going to be positive, although sometimes we don't like having the spotlight on ourselves. I think it's going to be a really positive situation that comes out of this. And don't forget, over this weekend we are moving towards a really special new moon. The new moon is in Cancer on Monday, on the 17th, and I feel like it's clearing away. We're getting a lot of stuff clearing away, ready for some pretty exciting new energy that's coming in. So I do feel, again, because these are the guardians, are like the top layer of the court cards, I feel like it's the, how shall I say it, like almost a recap or a final exam to see if you really are matured or leveled up in some way, so that you're ready to start this new adventure or new energy that's coming in. So there we have it. Some yeah, let me know how that resonates with you. I'd be really interested to know. Okay, have a lovely day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.